Hi guys, this is Dev Journey 4. The ToonTanks mini project is finished and there will be a link to download it in the description somewhere. This episode we talk about what I've learned so far, what the next project's going to be, and explain briefly why I don't respond to YouTube comments. So after last Dev Journey I added the next feature, which was to shoot. So projectiles came out of the designated spawn point, which was just in front of the turret on the tank. The turrets that you shoot at use the same code base, so they fire the same types of projectiles rather than having the separate blueprints. At this moment in the project, the projectiles didn't get destroyed, they were persistent in the world, so if you fired them in the same place over and over again, you could stack them up like explosively volatile pieces of toast. I apologise, it's 2:30 in the morning as I write and record this, so I am very hungry. So in the code I created a projectile class and gave it some properties. You need the mesh, which is the skin for lack of a better phrase, for the component, and a movement component because it's going to need to move. This create default subobject is needed because of reasons. I still don't know, to be honest. Even after reading the Unreal documentation, it doesn't make sense to me. I mean, it's needed to create child classes and access parent classes, which I do understand, but I thought it would just be intrinsic and just work, but whatever. So it needs a max speed and an initial speed. These are variables that are found within the projectile movement component, which makes sense. Unreal has a lot of history with FPS games and other shooters, so having a feature like that that's built in that controls projectile speed saves a lot of time. So after creating the projectile, we need to assign it to something that can shoot them. So it's attached to the base pawn class. And again, the reason it's attached to the base pawn class is because the tank and the turret both come from the base pawn class. So adding it to that means they'll both get the ability to shoot rather than having to add it separately. The T subclass type is a safer way of implementing it because this enforces the developer to assign certain attributes, and that is something that I definitely already knew and fully understood, and didn't have to research 15 times and have to write down the description so I could remember to say it in this video. But doing this will allow us to fire projectiles and at the specified point and speed. But now we jump ahead a bit. Truthfully, recovering from COVID, learning how to use Unreal, making videos and all the other stuff that has been going on at the minute, I've just been completely unrested. So I ended up forgetting to record some of the development footage of me testing and coding and such. However, I have been doing it, and this is the finished mini project. So we have engine noise, we've got background noise, we've got textures on the floor and walls, we've got sound effects, and this is a fully developed level. We can see the crosshair of where we're going to aim, and we can move about. The aim of this game is to navigate this maze-like structure and destroy all of the turrets. There are 42 turrets because that is the answer to life, the universe and everything, but you only have 3 hit points, so it ends up being actually quite tricky. You really have to preempt the sort of movements of the projectiles of the turrets, and you can't just go all guns blazing. It's surprisingly difficult. So that first attempt, I died nearly 2 minutes in. My next go, I got really greedy and just got obliterated. There is a case to be made to grant iframes to the tank after getting hit, but to be honest, I quite enjoyed the challenge. And I think adding iframes would probably make it a little bit too easy, even if it's just for a second, because then you could just keep spamming the shoot button. My next attempt was to see if I could just drive through. Spoiler alert, I couldn't, and died in 5 seconds. And my last go, I really tried to do well, but I mistimed my approach and instantly got killed again. So overall, I think this is pretty fun. I'm happy with it. There is room for improvement, certainly, but this was never meant to be a serious project. That comes next. So to end this video, I just want to talk about that project and YouTube comments. with everything that I've got going on right now, there are things that I just don't have the time to do, and unfortunately responding to YouTube comments falls into that. I have had many YouTube channels over the years. I started making YouTube content when I was about 14 on a long deleted YouTube channel, and I then moved to making RuneScape videos on Him There 32, which I no longer have access to. Over the years, I've come to gain an understanding that most of the time YouTube comments can be a bit of a nasty place. You know, this is built on 16, 17 years worth of experience on this site, so I've just learned to, you know, never really process comments on my videos. I leave them open because, quite frankly, the algorithm requires it. You know, and currently I manage 3 YouTube channels. There's this one, there's the channel for my music project, Remo Arcade, and a general gaming one, which I just won't share just yet. I also have to run the social media pages of those channels, and my LinkedIn, and my blog and portfolio site, all while trying to learn Unreal, coding, writing music, making videos for the purpose of building the portfolio. You know, all of this is happening while I'm also looking for long-term employment in an industry where a lot of the big players have laid off entry-level positions. Things are quite stressful right now, and I'm just too busy to fully respond to comments and give them the time that they deserve. So please, please, please forgive me, and please don't think bad of me if I don't acknowledge your comments. I would love to, but right now I just can't. Depending on how current circumstances play out, we could see sort of next year opening up and doing things differently. So fingers crossed, but it's still a while away. And lastly, the next project. So if you remember on Dev Journey 2 or 3, I can't quite remember now, I was planning to have a project out by the end of October. Well, that's not happening. It's going to be lucky if it's going to be this year, to be honest. But next week's video probably won't strictly be a development video. I'm going to do the pre-planning stages of the project I had planned to do anyway, and work on it from there. So I'm going to be writing down ideas, maybe doing some pseudocode, maybe some storyboarding, just so you can sort of see how the process works from beginning to end. And also see like how, you know, all those different elements come together at like a very high level, you know, an overarching level where it's not really explained in a deep fashion, but just gives you an idea of what the process is. Yeah, so that's going to be it for me today, I think. Like, subscribe, share and comment, even though I probably won't have time to reply to it. And I will see you all in the next one. Ta-ta!